Have you seen the fall drop announcement? Mojang is finally adding in fully automated item sorting. Now, we're not talking about hoppers here, but what you will get is the return of the copper golem. And with the return of the copper golem comes a copper chest, and anything that you put inside the copper chest, it's going to say pull it out and go aha, and then figure out which of these chests already has that in it, and then it's going to put it in there. So for example, I could give it a chest filled with grass, and it would go aha, grass goes here, and it would throw the grass in here. This will mean that I need to throw the rest of my spare grass into the shulker box, but you get the idea. Every time I come back from somewhere, I can just dump everything into the copper chest, and it will just end up eventually where it needs to go. That was also gonna add some life here. We can basically put two copper golems, one on each side here. I'm sure they'll wander back and forth, but then they can kind of act like our bank tellers. Maybe we change out the chain for something else so that they stay stuck back there. I don't know. There's still a lot more to learn, and it is early days, so they are probably going to change things. But I think from what I have seen so far, the only real change that we're going to need to make to the system that I have now is I need ladders and other floors and things. They need a way to get up here, because right now they can reach this chest, they can reach this chest, but they can't seem to get up any higher. It says they can search blocks within an 8-block vertical radius, but that doesn't seem to be how it works right now. So once they finalize the details of how all that's gonna work, then I will come in here and figure out how I want to change this. It could be as simple as just ladders coming up and then walkways over, maybe like copper trapdoors, so it's like a catwalk or something. I don't know yet. I'm gonna wait and see what they actually end up doing. But if you've seen my previous videos where I go on long tangents about item filters, it will probably come as no surprise to you that I am very excited about this. The idea of not needing to load up a hopper with various things and a whole bunch of redstone just to filter to one specific item. Now I can just have a little copper dude that wanders around and filters it for me. Awesome. Now, I'm sure this is not going to eliminate the need for item filters. There's still going to be plenty of great uses for them. I'm not going to go change out the melon and pumpkin farm, because there's only 2 items for that anyway. That would be a complete waste to bother with a copper golem. But it can be useful for a lot of the other farms that produce a lot of different types of drops, like the witch farm. We've got redstone, glass bottles, sticks or something, glowstone, a lot of different things that you can get from that. So it could be useful there. But yeah, we'll see what happens in the fall. In the last video, we built up this bar, this concert venue / rooftop bar here, which got us some clerics and a lot of other fun things to do. If you have any ideas still about what to do with this transition here, please leave those in the comments. I will read them. I'm still not quite sure what to do with that. I'm otherwise very happy with this. But I think this video, what I want to do is focus on all these other houses. These are meant to be more like houses than commercial buildings. So I don't think we have to do as much. We can just do a little bit of texturing here and there, add some plants and things like that. But all of that is something that I am going to handle over on livestream, twitch.tv/Nudos. I like to do it that way because I am building this in a creative copy of this world, and that way I can get your feedback. If I have questions, if you have cool ideas that I want to implement, we can do that here and build this all together. Now, speaking of Twitch, one other little bit of housekeeping here. I've started a second channel. I didn't actually want to do that, but what I've noticed is that if I put my shorts and VODs and things on this channel, what happens is YouTube starts trying to recommend my Minecraft videos to people that have been watching shorts, which are completely different video games, things like Repo or Phasmophobia or Mario Kart, and those people don't necessarily care about Minecraft. And so it hurts the views on the Minecraft videos because the people aren't clicking them because YouTube is recommending them to the wrong people. It's a whole complicated thing, but if you do like the shorts and VODs, check out Nudos 2. I will have a link in the description below. And if you like the Minecraft videos and want to make sure that you actually see them in your feed, please do hit that subscribe button. It works way better than relying on the YouTube algorithm to just hopefully get you the right things that you want. Some progress has been made. We gave our happy guest a name. Its name is now Billie Jean. If you know, then you know. And if you don't know, watch my last video. There's a lot of pretty good rhyming there. And then over here, I designed these on the stream. There's actually one other thing that is missing up there. I have an idea for an attic vent. I also have some ideas for what we can do with the slab roof here. I'll get to that in just a second. I don't know why I just put my finger up in real life. You can't see that because it's not on stream. Twitch.tv/Nudos. But we have, since this is supposed to be almost like siding, it's really hard for me to texture it, but we can accessorize. So we've got shutters for all the windows, some flower beds here. Eventually we'll do an interior here, something else with the floor, but that's that for right now. That's all I've come up with so far. Then over here, we did do a little bit of the same texturing that we did over there. And then I also added shutters and a overhang for the front so that people can get in without getting wet. The back has the same kind of texturing. So the idea that I had for the roof that I came up with while designing this is to take these stairs and put them upside down here. So basically what that does is it comes here and then down and then over, and that covers up this little bit here. I think that it looks a little better. It's just not a huge difference because it's so dark anyway. But let's take a little look-see here. So you can see it gives it a little bit more subtle transition. I'm gonna leave those at the top. I'm still on the fence about whether or not I want to put them everywhere else. I would need to craft more, which is fine. Oh, hey, my scaffolding. But that would be what we would need to do to make that work. Let's do the attic vent. All right, there we go. Just some iron trapdoors with the redstone to keep them open, or in this case, they look closed, but it's technically open, I guess. And then light gray wool to add a little bit of depth. I tried experimenting with darker and it just seemed too dark. This gives it just the right amount of depth, I think. Simple little circuit. It's just a torch and 2 redstone dust, but it does the trick for that. I also did the interior of this building, and you can see I put a little bit up there. I'm not gonna go too nuts with the upstairs, I don't think, but enough that we can see something from the windows. There's no windows on the front here, but on the inside, there are windows where you could potentially see it from out there. So I gave it a bit of a table, a fridge, stove, kitchen sink, some storage, and that's really about it as far as this goes. It's also lit, so there's not gonna be any mob spawning, which is nice. Yeah, you can't, you really do have to be in here before that interior is even relevant. But you know what? I got a little bored of doing all of these exteriors, so I needed something else to do. And then finally I did, well, mostly the inside here. I decided that this texturing was fine, so I just added some lights here. And then the inside we've turned into a clothing shop. So I got rid of this side door. I couldn't really think of anything to do with this outdoor space. So we have a counter where we could put somebody. If we wanted to get like a leather worker villager, we could stick them here. And then here we could grab some of our armor from over here. We have a lot of spare armor. Or I could make something with leather, for example. So let's get, I don't know, just some of the crappier armor. And then over here, we could have different sets on display. So maybe by the window to entice people in, we do the diamond set. And then over by this window, maybe we do our iron set. And so on and so forth. We could do like a netherite set if I really am feeling fancy and get a lot more netherite, which seems unlikely. But that's that building. basically done, other than we could put some flowers and stuff around. This building is now basically done, although the backside could use some help. And then this building still needs something. My brain kind of went blank as to what to do with it, but I think that this helps a lot with the exterior, just overall. It just needs more. So then this building is basically done. I think what I still need to do, if we add some buttons on here, that will act as, I don't know how many of you are familiar with woodworking terms, but as a mortise and tenon. So this piece here basically would have, for lack of a better way of putting it, a hole. That would be the mortise, and then the tenon would come from this, and that would go all the way through. It doesn't have to go all the way through, but I think if we add some oak buttons or spruce buttons or something, that will sort of sell the effect of it having been actually crafted out of these logs, and I think that would look nice. Something like this. So now if there was actual joinery, it would be sticking through like that, and it just adds a little bit. I guess I should have done that up top too, but I can't do it off the side, so that would just be 4 more buttons. I think I can make that happen. Something that sort of occurred to me as I was working on the texturing here, I know that this like kind of helps break up the monotony, but one thing that you run into with Minecraft is in the real world, you're not gonna have, you know, things like this. If you've got cracked bricks, you've got a whole problem going on. But what you do have is a lot of different colored bricks, so none of these bricks are really going to be the same color. This one might be a bit of a darker red, this one might be a lighter red. Some older styles of brick building, I think it's every 7 layers of brick or something, the bricks would actually go the other way. So instead of being long ways this way, the long way would be that way. That was a structural element, and you can't really do that in Minecraft either. So there's a lot of things that you just kind of have to give up on. Give up on the idea of it being realistic, which is a little frustrating for me. It's hard for me to deal with, but this is the best we got here. This is actually, you might have seen in the video, upside down stairs and then slabs. I felt like that was a little nicer. One thing that bothers me about like the slab roof is then you have slab, then just immediately slab here, and then there's nothing that sort of connects them like there is with this. But there's no real way to put something that goes between 2 blocks. It would be kind of nice if there was a way to, I don't know, for example, when you put slabs in this sort of orientation, if there was at least an option to have it put some sort of connecting piece between them. Whatever, that might be asking too much out of Mojang. Maybe that's breaking vanilla Minecraft a little too much. I don't know. Let me get some more of these buttons. I need 4 more buttons. There we go. So now we have the tenons visible on all of our joinery here, and I think that that's pretty good for this building. It would be nice to texture it some more, but even with the help of Axiom's gradient tools and color matching tools, I couldn't quite find anything that I liked for it. And you can't really just add little tiny cracks to things like this, not without something like the Bits and Chisels mod, I think it's called, or Chisels and Bits. That's a cool mod, but man, you get way too into the weeds there, and I think that gets a little too far away from vanilla Minecraft. It's also just a lot of work. I honestly care less about it being far away from vanilla Minecraft and more just about the amount of work it takes. It's also kind of a confusing mod. So we'll just leave it like this for now. So we've got most of this side done, no interior there, and I have some work to do here still. I switched over to my creative world to just show off a couple other ideas that I had, and I'll explain in a minute why I haven't done them. Hello? Is that a weird glitch because of Axiom? I think that's one that I just copied from over here. I was experimenting with the copy and move feature, whatever. Here is just a lot of little things. Bushes here, I was experimenting with different depths using the stairs to try and add a little bit more shadow and such. I do think it adds something, but I'm not sure yet that I want to stick with it. Did I even show this off before? I was also thinking about adding some sort of chimney or radio tower antenna thing to this building. I don't know. I have a confession to make. I have been struggling mighty hard to figure out what I want to do in this Minecraft world. That last clip was, it was almost 3 weeks ago. I've been sitting on this video for that long, so that might give you some idea of where my brain has been at. So what I wanted to do is spend the last couple minutes of this video just talking about what my plans are. Help, I'm stuck. Oh, it's hard walking in F5. So, Minecraft. Minecraft is a video game. A lot of people love this video game. I love this video game. The problem that I have with Minecraft is we are now at a point where there's not really much to do other than just kind of add things to the town. I've done everything. I've done everything I wanted to do, at the very least, other than finish all my decorations. I'm pretty proud of how the town has turned out so far, but it's just a lot of nitpicky things after this if I want to keep going, and I gotta be completely honest here. I'm just not that interested in it. Not right now, anyway. Now, there are some cool things coming. I mentioned at the beginning of the video, we have the fall drop that's going to have the copper golems, and I do want to revisit this storage system when that happens, but they're not out now, so I can't do that. I do think it would be fun to come back and just build on this once we get that. They also added shelves, and shelves are basically wooden vertical slabs. They still don't want to just give us vertical slabs, but hey, they'll give us shelves. Those are pretty cool as well, and they might be good for filling in some little gaps here and there, or trying to make new patterns, trying to make more subtle angles on roofs, things like that. But I think until then, until something comes along that really strikes me and motivates me to want to jump back in here, I'm probably just gonna put this world on hiatus. I know, hiatus. That means no more Minecraft videos for a while, at least not here. What I want to start experimenting with some other things. I mentioned my frustrations with the YouTube algorithm earlier, and part of that is just that I had to do something that I didn't really want to do on this channel, which is unlist or make private a lot of my older non-gaming videos. I wanted to leave those up so that if people were getting use out of them, then they still could. But because the algorithm doesn't want to recommend videos correctly when you have variety content like that, I have to see what we can make happen with that if I want this channel to go anywhere. Hi, bees. Some things that I might like to try and do if I have the opportunity. I think it would be fun to get into some sort of SMP. I'm not trying to say I need to go into some big fancy one, but just with a couple of friends or something, just so that the motivation isn't just derping around Minecraft, it's hanging out with friends. I think that would help in terms of longevity. It might be fun to do some challenge maps. I don't think I want to do one block or sky block, I guess it is, because I think I'll run into the same problem that I run into with all my Minecraft worlds, which is, yeah, initially there's a big spark, there's a rush of excitement, it's new, it's different, but then over time, what happens is you've done it. You've done everything. You've gotten through it. I'm the sort of person that tends to play games that you can beat in Minecraft. It's not really the sort of game that you play to beat. So that's the problem that I'm running into, and I don't think Skyblock will solve that. But doing things like parkour maps or escape rooms or something like that, that could be a fun way to mix things up while still doing Minecraft content, because I think that this channel, my primary channel here, the Nudos channel, not Nudos 2, I think at this point is probably going to need to be dedicated to Minecraft and Minecraft adjacent content, because otherwise the algorithm is just not going to work. If you want to watch some of the other content, I mentioned earlier I started up the Nudos 2 channel. That is currently primarily VODs from my stream, and I would love it if you guys wanted to come hang out on stream as well. That is where I think a lot of my attention for the immediate future is going to be focused while I figure out what else I want to put on this channel. So all of this is just a long way of saying that the channel is not going away. This world is not getting deleted or anything. I don't really want to restart a brand new world because I've already built up a lot of stuff here. It's just that content specifically in this world is likely going to come at a much slower pace and only when I am feeling particularly inspired by things. Maybe a new redstone contraption that I want to make, or I want to do something with the little copper golems, which I very much do. Those are going to be cool, and I really want to experiment with those. But until then, I do hope that you guys have enjoyed these videos that I have been putting together. I know that this is a shorter one. It's a little rambly here at the end. It's already been a month since my last video, and almost all of that was just me hemming and hawing and not playing the game because I didn't know what to do. So I figured, let's just bite the bullet here. Let's explain what's going on and be honest with you guys. So I do hope that you've enjoyed. Please subscribe so you don't miss when I do put out other videos. Like I said, they will come, just not at a rapid pace. They may be other types of content as well. And if you are interested in checking out what I'm doing in the meantime, you've got Nudos too, you've got my Twitch channel, but that is going to be it for this video and probably for a little while here. Thank you guys for hanging out with me. Thank you for watching my videos. I do hope you've enjoyed, and I will see everybody in the next video or on a stream or on the other channel. But I will see you. Bye.